Ms. Kennedy, the lectern is yours.
Thank you. Mayor Siscoe, Mayor Siscoe and members of council, thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Coalition for a Better St. Catharines. I'm here to ask the council to act further on the catwalk and to address the unsafe, unsightly conditions across the entire former GM site.
Ms. Kennedy,
Yes.
you're to speak strictly to the motion, which is about a review of the current condition of the overhead structure.
I understood that I could speak regarding the catwalk.
The overhead structure and the current condition and the review of the current condition of the overhead structure.
Okay, so I can still speak about the catwalk?
That's the overhead structure,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
For years, residents have raised legitimate concerns about the former GM site, its condition, its future, and the question of stewardship over one of the most prominent properties in our city, left in the hands of absentee owners and under the failing watch of elected officials. But instead of addressing those concerns, you're about to witness a mayor determined to shut down the conversation. As legitimate questions mount about this blighted brownfield site, criticisms of its management, and the stewardship of the land itself, this appears to clash with the interests of powerful people connected to the property. Backed by campaign donations from individuals associated with the site's current ownership, the mayor seems more interested in defending the narrative than listening to the residents he was elected to serve. Watch closely. The issue isn't just the GM site, it's whether ordinary citizens still have a voice when powerful interests are challenged.
As a mother and resident, I'm deeply concerned over public safety. The overhead structure is sitting on a site that has sat vacant for years. It's not only the overhead structure that's dangerous, it's every structure on the property.
Ms. Kennedy, that is not up for debate this evening. This evening's debate is very clearly centered around the motion as it was written and submitted about the current condition of the overhead structure. We are not speaking to any other aspects of the site. We are not speaking to any other aspects of the property.
With all due respect, Mayor, if the bylaws that we're requesting be reviewed, there wouldn't be a catwalk situation to be worried about.
Ms. Kennedy, there is nothing in this motion that speaks to bylaws being reviewed. That is not the purpose. Mr. Smith, you can leave if you are instructing from the Mr. Smith, there is not to be any outbursts, and there was a time. Mr. Smith, you are not to instruct people from the gallery. You understand the rules of this chamber. You have been here many times. So, Mr. Smith, you're not to instruct people from the gallery.
In January, our coalition collected over 1,200 petition signatures urging the city to enforce the situation regarding the overhead structure.
Ms. Kennedy, I'm going to ask the council coordinator. No, ma'am. There is a motion. It speaks specifically to reviewing the current condition of the overhead structure.
Right.
This is not about the petition. A motion was passed several meetings ago asking for staff to report back on that. There will be a time to speak on that at this time. This is strictly to the request to review the current condition of the overhead structure. There is nothing in the whereas clauses, there is nothing in the therefore be it resolved clauses that has anything to do with anything other than the roadway, the structure, and the safety of residents on the roadway or the sidewalks. That is the entirety of the motion.
Thank you. In view of that, I would like to just skip to my last paragraph on my page. I'm in agreement with Mr. Williamson in saying that delaying enforcement of the structure, you've already said that we cannot speak to the quality of the of the engineer's report or the totality of the engineer's report. I just
Ma'am,
want to say...
You can speak to the report if you wish. It is directly related to the overhead structure.
Okay. The people that signed our 1,200 signatures on our petition asked us to make it safe. They didn't say how exactly to make that happen. They didn't say just look at the catwalk or look at the overhead structure, but they said, please make us safe. We stood outside a Fresco in January in the freezing cold, and I mean, it was freezing cold.
Ms. Kennedy, this is not about the petition. I said you could speak to the report that is directly related to this, but you are not doing that. So if you're not going to speak to it, then we will have to end the delegation, because the delegation and our procedural bylaws are very clear on this, that you are to speak to the motion that is on the floor.
If the overhead structure collapses, if the engineering report is not total or is not complete, or if anything happens to anyone, it would be tragic but predictable. The site already attracts youth, and the photos show how dangerous it is. When a city knows of a hazard and fails to act, this inaction carries moral and legal risk. In the upcoming fall election, we'll be looking to you all for leadership. Thank you.
Ms. Kennedy, there may be some questions.
I'm sorry. First time.
It's totally understandable. Councillor Harris.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to the presenter. So we have the report on the catwalk. Is it, I'm trying to word this without, you're looking for more of a holistic report on the entire site. I'll just leave it at that, right?
Correct.
Well, the site, how it's, yes, okay.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Townsend.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your presentation, for coming in tonight. When were you first made concerned about the safety implication of this specific catwalk, whatever we're calling it?
I mentioned it in a town hall meeting back 2 town hall meetings ago, back in, I think it was October. I was cognizant that every time I drove underneath it, I thought, I wonder what time, when's that last been checked for anything? When has it been safe? And that's when I mentioned it in my town hall notes to the mayor at the time, and said, when was the last time the catwalk had been inspected?
Thank you. Thank you for that. My other question is, with you seeing this removed, if we can somehow ask the current private owner to remove this, that you're saying would be a starting point for, to alleviate some of the safety concerns that you're feeling.
It would be wonderful.
Thank you.
Councillor Williamson.
Ms. Kennedy, if you had to hire an engineer to do a structure report on a table, would you assume that the structure report would just include the surface of the table or the table and the legs of the table?
I would assume that the table, I would check to see what the foundation looks like on the table to start with, where the table's being built and whether or not that's a sound and stable environment, recognizing that everything going up to that top level of the table is reflective on its weakest point.
Thank you.
Councillor Phillips.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. In regards to the engineer's report, which has been stamped by a professional engineer, is there anything, I'm sure you've read the report, is there anything in that specific report that concerns you?
I don't feel that it properly addressed everything that one would ask. If I was purchasing a home, I guess I'm just saying, if I was purchasing a home, I would want someone to tell me what was happening with the foundation of the home. And I wouldn't accept, if I looked at a home and asked the home inspector, I would expect him to look at the foundation up if I was looking for him to make me safe.
Well, I'm not sure that as far as the way that the catwalk, the term you used, which I think is right, the way it's attached or built or built into the building, I would imagine that they would look at that. They're not going to look at the building that's 100 feet away type of thing.
Right.
That doesn't have any bearing on the catwalk. But I
Right.
can imagine that the professional engineer would look to ensure that the way it's connected to the building, that it would be safe. But, okay, I just wanted to see if there's anything in particular that you're concerned about.
I just
Thank
think
you.
that for 8 years now, we've been asking to have this type of thing addressed, and I would really hope that the council can make this the year. When a city knows of a hazard and fails to act, this inaction carries moral and legal risk.
So if you're not going to speak to it, then we'll have to end the delegation.